which Cleburne's coming up too, to be honest. Cleburne's going
Usually you'll
crazy
find
as well.
Cleburne a little bit behind Burleson.
Yes,
just a
they're a little bit
their
behind.
average is just a little bit lower.
I wonder if that'll slow down since everything's slowed down.
I'm wondering too. I'm keeping an eye on it
because people were just moving further out because they couldn't get in here. So go out a little bit and see if you can.
Right. And more people are like all the people that are moving from out of state, they want land. They want to be out in the country. I'm like, that's a lot of stuff to handle and take care of. But okay, go ahead. Let's go. Let's get you
I
there.
don't want that.
I do. I kind of like it. Personally, that's just me. I do. I like the country. I'm not a city. I used to be a city girl. I lived in California. So like I lived there. I did not grow up there. I lived there. Parents. Okay. Parents. It's not my fault. No, I love California. I'm just kidding. But okay, so back to Johnson County. The median household income is like 64,000. Well, I'm going to round up 65,000. So, and then the income per capita is like 29,000. So how about on yours?
Which one are you on?
It is the one before that. Wait, nope. Before, I think.
I don't have that one.
Oh no. Where did the Fort Worth one go?
Maybe it's after.
It might still be on the printer. My bad. Okay, well, I got Crowley here.
Okay.
That works. That's like Tarrant County. That is closer. So we could definitely pull that off.
Wow. 29. Oh, median household?
Yes.
77.
Okay.
Is that for two people?
It's just saying the median household income, right? Is that the one you're on or the income per capita?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
That's going to assume, it's going to assume of two adults and 2 kids, probably. I would think a family of 4.
I would think so.
Family of 1 to 4 is normally how the first deal goes.
Right. So Burleson, though, check this out. Burleson is 79,000, basically. So close, 79,000. That's ridiculous. I'm like, wow, we got a lot of rich people here in Burleson. That's okay. Stay here.
Tarrant County is 67,000. So what can they buy for 67,000? Can they afford the median house price at 389?
No.
No. No.
Isn't that crazy?
And how does that work?
And that's why the median is that, right? So if you've got something making it 500, 600,000 making it up top, well, you still have 200, again, maybe stockyards in other areas of Fort Worth.
Right.
And you still have the 300 range that brings that median down. So it doesn't mean there's no homes below 389 or whatever.
And there are. Yeah.
Because that's where the average comes from, right?
Right, absolutely.
On your median. But yeah, I mean, what's the problem? We did 6 and 7% rates back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
What was the difference? Because nobody was griping back then. That was about pay.
We've been spoiled.
Well, yes. Our average home price was 175 to 200. Wherever you lived in Texas, if you look back then, 175 to 200. Now you're at what, 370 to 400.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The problem is what the price of homes. That's why the rates going up made such a big deal. It's not that rate, oh my God, we've never seen anything like it. It's like, no, this average home price is double what it was last time rates were 6 and 7%.
Right. Because if you were qualified for, say, a $300,000 house, the rates have gone up. What are they at now? 150, 200?
Yeah, and we're in the low 200s probably.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a big difference.
Because it did double. It went 3.5 to 7 basically. I mean, we're in high 6s. Most lenders I'm looking at are in low 7s right now. And so this morning. So yeah, and they went up quick. They waved at 4 and 5. They stayed at 5 about a month, and then the 4 was like 2 days.
Yeah.
They stayed in the 4s, and then it was unbelievably fast, and it shocked the system
for sure.
But really, it does come down to payment, right? Because if I say a client's worth, not worth, but they can be approved for up to say 350 sales price, but they're looking at that payment and they're like, that doesn't fit my budget. It's like, right, it's this piece of paper. No, you got to be comfortable with this payment and there's something called being house poor, right?
Yes.
You buy a home that you want and then you can't afford to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford to entertain guests.
Buy eggs.
Yes, buy eggs. There we go. Those eggs coming around again. So, yeah, serious stuff.
Yeah, right. Watch the groceries went skyrocketing too. So that doesn't help. But they have the option to buy down. I mean, when you buy down on their points,
they can buy down.
Yeah, they could help with that
out there. it gives them temporary help. I mean, you could do a true buy down where you're 30, say you do a 30-year, yes, you bought down at the lower rate. So instead of 7.25, you're at 6.75 or something. You can do that buy down, or you can do the buy down program, which it actually gives you, if let's just say a rate were 7% today, your first year would be 5, the second year it would be 6, and then it goes back up to 7. It's a 2-for-1 buy down. And that's where a lot of buyers were like, hey, tell the sellers, don't lower your, on the listing side, don't lower your sales prices. Start offering seller concessions again, because you're going to help a buyer a hell of a lot more by reducing the amount they got to bring to closing than dropping their payments $30. You know,
Absolutely.
it's incredible the difference, because for every $1,000 you lower that sales price, it's only $5 or $6 to the payment.
Give
How
them
much
$5,000 at closing, they can save $5,000.
Yeah. Right. So because if you lower it $5,000, now you're looking at $25 to $30 savings. As a buyer, do you want $30 less, or do you want to have to pay $5,000 less out of your checking account?
Mhm.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 are going to take that. So, and again, that helps the market, instead of just everybody having to drop these prices and, oh God, here goes the market, it's going down. No, leave your price and help your buyers with the closing costs.
I
Help
keep
them
getting
by-
asked. I'm our designated supervisor at our brokerage, so I get calls from agents all the time, and they're like, "How much should I drop it?" I'm like, "Don't drop it. Hold it, because we're just going to screw the market, like by dropping everything. That's not what needs to happen."
Right.
That's right.
I agree.
Because it will. I mean, what are comps? What something's sold for? That's what
Yeah.
appraisers use, not
Yes.
what something's listed for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything, get that message out to your friends that list properties: is don't immediately come off the price.
Right.
Offer seller concessions.
Yeah.
Buyers will like that a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, buyers were willing to pay $10,000-$20,000 over just a few months ago. What's the difference in taking that money and putting it towards their rate, and then they'll be right back where they were?
Yeah.
And they can sleep on it and not decide in 2 minutes on
That's
the house.
exactly right. Yes.
But I think it's just our education that we need to educate our clients. And obviously the news is not where anyone needs to get their information from,
no.
because it's not accurate. I mean, we can pull our data all day, and this is it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about it because it makes me angry.
No, go ahead.
Well-
like, tell us more. Like, that's why you're here, girl. We got to hear from you. You got to
As
tell us about what's going on.
professionals, we're supposed to teach our
Exactly.
clients. And if you want to separate yourself in a market that's become, we've talked about the social media and
Yes.
however else you can separate yourself as a realtor, lender, title company from your competition in a tighter market. Educate your people,
Yes.
your clients.
Yeah.
And let them know what's going on. It's not the end of the world. Hey, let's find a seller that's willing to cooperate with us, because now, guess what? There are sellers who will cooperate. That moment of madness where all sellers were like, we don't do anything and we want over list price. Thankfully, that is over,
It's gone.
Yes.
and sellers are actually like, oh, okay. Well, so yeah, but that's powerful, because if listing agents are just thinking lower price to get it going, they're missing the point.
They are missing
And
the point.
brokers out there need to be educating, their listing agents on what's going on. So I like it.
Yes.
Hey,
Truth.
Jennifer. Jennifer. Sorry, Jason. Jennifer said hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
I just had to put that out there. I was like, looking at our comments here. But all right. So yeah, I think that's really great stuff. So what are some of the things that you're talking to, your clients? Like, can you give us a little bit more about that in like the Fort Worth area? Give us whatever you got here for.
Yeah. I mean,
How would
I
you
think
work that?
not just Fort Worth. I think it's just overall,
Right.
Anyway. But I reiterate, like, I know some about the numbers and, the mortgage, but I'm like, just let them back me up. They're the experts,
Right.
but these are things that we can do. Where do you want to be? You can also refi whenever it comes back down. And it's
Absolutely.
going to come back down. I mean, like the Feds kept it way too long, way too low. And that was like a mirage, and it probably will never happen again.
Yeah.
And whenever they do drop them again, they will have to be below 2 3/4%, Because how are they going to get money back in the bond market for people to refinance again? It'll
No.
have to go below that, right?
Yeah, but there's other ways. But to drop back down to 2 or 3%?
Yeah.
It won't happen unless we have another COVID.
Yeah, another pandemic.
You
That's
know,
what I was going to
something's going to
say.
have to shut the. And that's why I tell people, they're like, "Well, I'll wait." I said, "You're
It's
waiting
not
for the
gonna
next
happen.
crisis,
Right. Right.
for the
You don't
country
want
to
that.
shut down? Well, go pray for war. Maybe war will bring it down."
No.
But it could be your
No.
kid going out there having to serve. You know, I mean,
Right.
let's be careful what we wish for.
That is a good point.
When you say unrealistic, 3%, 2 and 3% rates are not good for any economy.
No.
That's almost free money. Yes, it's great to the buyers that got to take advantage of it, and the people got to refi. You had a bad situation where there was something positive, and that's why they left the rates low. But
We're paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Now
paying for it.
for a high fours, yeah, more 5% range, yeah, that's more of a healthier, you know. But they won't have to drop again to get the bond market and everything going. It's you know, because if we had to wait for them to drop to 2 and 3%, yeah. No, it's not going to happen.
Well, and people are like, I'm waiting on all the prices to come down, or I'm waiting on the rates to come down. Well, when you're waiting, everything's going to go up, but nothing's going to be cheaper in a year from now. Nothing's going to be cheaper in 2 years from now.
No.
So remember, like when 2007, 8, 9 happened and a ton of people bought then, that is this time again
Mhm.
Right.
for them to buy. And they just have to realize that the rates are what they are. This is normal.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we started.
If you look
We
back,
started higher than that, didn't we?
what's that?
Like way back in the day. It wasn't like 12,
Oh,
12
in the 80s,
13?
they were like almost 18%. No, yeah, 78. I know they were
Okay.
18%.
Early 80s,
Early
late
80s.
70s. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was kind of again, if you go back in history, that was one of those outliers, like 2 and 3%. Well, 18 was 16, 18 was an outlier. It's like, whoa, one extreme or the other. But up until the mortgage crisis, every 10 years, your average rates were around 6%. 6 to 7% was a normal decade.
Do we have a little graph for that?
Through everything that happened. I'm just going off what I know.
I think
Yeah,
we do.
I
It's
know.
right in here.
I know in 2002, I built a house.
Yeah.
And it was 7.5%. And I had like excellent credit before I screwed it up, in my 20s.
Well, you want to tell us what screwed up your credit, or are we going
Husband,
to?
ex-husband.
I understand that.
Guy divorced. Now it's better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about when you get divorced, like everything goes to like back, the vehicles get repoed. It's like you're neither one of you feel like you need to pay the electricity bill that you left there. I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Going off on a tangent
Stubbornness.
again.
Well, yeah.
I got over into the marriage show.
You got,
She does like a relationship show. So
well,
yeah.
kind
oh,
of.
you oh,
Well,
God.
Dava
What's
back-
positivity toolbox? But
David could
we
come
do
back for a
talk about
positivity
relationships.
toolbox.
Because I'm all about
So-
positivity in life. That's why I was saying we got to manifest the
Yes.
positive stuff here, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So,
Um,
did you
oh,
find? Did we have?
I
a
was
graph?
gonna a while ago whenever you asked that. So
Yes.
like my buyers, and I'm sure y'all come across this too, and they're like, and I always tell my kid this too: go to Google. I don't know, and but so people do Google everything we say, even though this is what we do every day, all day long.
Yes.
Which don't ever use a realtor. People that do not do this full time because they are not vested, and that's their largest investment in your life. So why would you want someone that just does it part time to handle that? But so I tell my clients, I'm like, you have to trust me. I'm like, do you fly? And most people are like, well, yeah. I'm like, do you ever get on the plane and ask the pilot what he's doing? Do you even see the pilot nowadays? No, you get on, you trust that pilot, and you get from point A to point B. You have to do that with me.
Yeah, I
You
think that's
have
really
to.
valid. That's good.
Yeah.
I should be taking notes on that.
Because
That's
they'll
really
come back
good,
to me.
though.
Are you sure? Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure. I'm flying. Just sit back there.
Right.
We
flying
may
this
have
plane?
some turbulence. I always tell people, this is a roller coaster. It's not going to be
Mm-mm.
perfect the whole way. There's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. And so it's like turbulence, but I've got you. No matter what, I have your best interest in mind, and we are going to land safe and sound.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. Yes. Because that is true. Like they do have a hard time, with us saying, well, this is how we need to probably go about this and move forward. And they're like, well, I just don't want to. And it's like, Or like right now, I've got a lot of new buyers that don't want to go to the lender first. And I'm like, what? No, we can't go look at houses until you get a pre-approval letter.
Yeah.
So, but then, I send them that initial email, or, I talk to them about all the costs that are going to come with it, and so it has been a more challenging market. How would you present that with your buyers?
So I might give someone one freebie to show them one house to have that conversation. If I don't previously have that conversation, but I haven't done that in a couple of years. So I know you need to talk to the lender.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Most people in their mind have, just like me, I'm like, oh, I want to go buy a car. This is how much I want to pay. But, so that car's not in my payment range. Right. And then you check the insurance. Oh, why? Because you want that kind of car.
Yeah.
So I need to know ahead of time. Okay, realistically, so I don't get there and have 5 people run my credit, or whatever. And then I'm back looking at something else.
Yeah.
So know ahead of time before you go.
Right, exactly. And it's like, when you go into a car dealership, it is a little bit different because, you're going there to ask them, and you're giving them you're still giving them your financial stuff somewhat, to figure out what your price point is. Some of the time, majority of the time though, you're just telling them what car you want to go drive and test drive. And then they put the numbers together and you're sitting there, but that's not how a house works.
No,
it works like that in the car business, but it doesn't work like that in real estate. Not at all. Because you need to know what price point. Like that's we're driving out there, we're opening the door for for the buyers. And it's not that we don't want to do that. I want to look at all the houses too. Oh,
Yep.
All right. We're about to go to break really quick, but when we get back, we are going to talk some more. All right. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make it stand out from the
I can hear
crowd?
now better.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw
Is it
at
better
them.
now? Maybe because I had to move that. I might have messed it. I might have shifted it or something when I was putting my headphones in.
Call them at 817.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hear you. I could, well, my headphones won't work.
Or reach them on the web at
I could hear you just because we were sitting next to each other. Yeah, I can hear her.
www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
I love it. I think so.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Serving Johnson County, Texas. Joco Community Radio.
Interesting.
All right. Welcome back to Real Estate Reality. Joco Community is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneIn, joco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at jococommunityradio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844 TEX HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And also be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. And those are pretty awesome. So like if you're cold, and you need to like have warmer arms, she got those. They're so cute. They're cute.
Yeah, I've never
They got
heard
lace.
that before.
You have it? Yeah, that's part of it now
Tiffy,
too.
huh?
The Tiffy, thetiffy.com.
Like old school, like those. What were they, leg warmers?
They're kind of like leg warmers,
Arm
but for your
warmers.
arms. And like she has lace, or she has like the other materials. I don't know which all. I'll have to ask her.
Interesting.
But they're really cool.
You don't have when you show to the camera.
I do not have one with me.
Okay,
She
next
still
week,
needs
next
to.
week.
Yeah, she needs to give me one so that I can start
Let's
representing.
not talk about things that we can't show.
Right, I know. Well,
Because
that's
if they can't see it, then they're not going to buy it.
I know, but it's on here. They just need to go to at thetiffy.com.
Tiffy.com.
It's a radio show. You're supposed to describe it.
Yeah, we're ready.
Jason.
And
It's a podcast
Yeah. Well, and radio.
You
We're
know
on
what I
both.
mean.
and radio.
Yeah, you can watch or listen.
Dava.
Did you not listen to the commercial? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I did.
I did. Very good. Sounded
All right.
very
Well,
like
thank you. Thank you.
I was listening to something on the radio.
I know. I told her she just needs to record me doing it. I'm just kidding. No, I love how all of us get to read it. So it makes it unique and different. All right. So we were talking about, like the difference between walking into a car dealership and, actually needing to know where your price point, where your mortgage needs to be before actually going house shopping. Because you need to know how much you're going to be able to get a
Yes.
loan for.
Most of us, like people in general, look at, I don't know, what is it, Credit Karma,
Mhm.
or like I look on my Chase app or wherever people look at it. Those aren't accurate. None of them. And, then, so it's like, not that your credit's horrible or not
Right.
that it's this, but if it's in between this and this, you can get something. If it's between this and this, you can get something else. So that's when they are the experts. They pull what they pull,
Right.
and they are accurate.
And it's
let
not
me
just
shortly
about your
explain
credit
that.
score.
Well, let me shortly explain that so they don't
Yeah.
think that
Yeah, there's more.
Chase or whatever is messing them over.
Right.
What they're looking at is consumer reports. Okay. That is a different scoring model than what mortgage lenders and banks have to use. We have to all use the same model, and it is a little more dated than a new one.
Right.
So it's not that Credit Karma is just everything's wrong. I think they show you who the creditors are, how they're reporting you, but you cannot go by that score. And for most of the consumer credit that you get, reports that you get, you cannot trust that's what a mortgage professional is going to pull,
Right.
because it's just a different scoring model.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that they're completely off and you're not getting screwed there by paying them, but it's not a mortgage report, credit report. That's the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's a misconception of, well, if I know my credit score, I can pretty much get an idea of what the lender is going to provide me for a loan. That's not exactly the case, because we're not thinking about the debt to income ratio that's being looked at too by a lender. Is that correct? Am I
Yeah.
nailing it?
And student loans.
Oh, yes.
I
That's a
mean,
big
they're
one.
projected, but still they are taken into consideration,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are not the only loan out there that ignores student loans payments is VA if they're deferred over a year past when the loan date will be, papers will be signed. Everything else, you're taking a percentage of the balance as an imaginary payment.
Right.
Even though they show deferred until 2025, there's still a payment. Now, granted, if it's 10,000, that's a $100 payment or whatever,
Right.
that we show,
Mhm.
or for Fannie Mae or Freddie's actually half of that. So $50. So these aren't huge payments, but still, if you have a lot of debt, yeah, that's going to go into your debt ratio. No doubt.
Yeah. Do these conversations usually go towards the lender? Is that what usually happens?
Sometimes, like, especially if we're talking about buyers, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like more on the selling side, I mean, that's a little bit of a different scenario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, like but I do feel that is the biggest thing. So let me ask you this, like, because right now it seems like it's like the percentage. I know for Fort Worth, it's like, what was the percentage for the buyer's market? Like it's more a buyer's market.
Oh, 30?
Was it
Is that
30?
what my little thing said?
Sorry. I'm trying to take us back.
30%.
Okay. And then I think, and in comparison, wait, now I lost mine.
Because like most people are like, oh, it's a buyer's market now, or oh, it's a seller's market now. You
Right.
know, just the conception of either or.
Yeah.
And like we have 2.5 months of inventory, I think, right now. And a healthy market is 6.5 months supply. That makes it a buyer's market. So technically, we are still in a seller's market, just not overnight.
Right.
So
it's-
this is getting back to normal.
and I like that.
But it's not back.
No.
No, it's not.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah.
The pain that we
That we're
have to
feeling.
go through
Yes.
to get it back to normal.
Yes. What do you mean it's been on the market 50 days and it hasn't sold? What's wrong with you? You know, like,
right.
or
Yeah.
what aren't you doing? Because they're flying off the market 2 months ago.
Mhm.
So buyers, if you guys are listening, hey, you still got this. We can
Yeah.
still make this happen. So don't get scared of what you're hearing on the news. Reach out to a professional realtor such as Dava and myself. And, you know, that way we can educate you on that. Wouldn't you
Yes.
agree?
Absolutely. Yes.
And then, okay, so let me ask you this, since we're on that note, how and what are you doing right now to, you know, to keep working and moving in your real estate business? You know, I think it's important for us to be able to help each other out and also give each other some insight and some maybe tips and tricks that we're using. I think that's huge for us.
For like retention or just in general, like referrals?
Well, yeah, just in general. So are you just what are you doing to gain new clients and stuff like that? Let me go there.
Okay. So I've been blessed in pretty much referral based. I've been in Fort Worth 43 years. I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school on the same street with the same people pretty much, you know, all through the years. Now my kid goes to high school, like right down the street. So I see all the same people like I went to high school with, and I'm involved in church, Bible studies, my kid's sports. She plays golf. And so I continuously do the same things, and I think that persistence in anything that you do always helps, and people are going to spread that. And if you're good at what you do, just like, you know, I don't want to go fly with that pilot ever again. That was horrible. You know, it's
Yes.
hey, this one was great. It was smooth. That's where you need to go.
Right.
So word of mouth and referrals is how I get my business. And I keep in contact monthly with everyone I've ever worked with and people I've potentially going to work with, and maybe it didn't work out, whatever. Every single month I send them something, just to be like, hey, I'm still here, you know. And then every other month I send out a magazine, and then social media, of course.
Do you have a CRM doing that? The customer, you're doing it yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
I know, right? I'm old school.
Wow.
How?
No, I mean, that's,
Old school.
you know,
Ah.
salute.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like a paper person. So
Me too.
like I have binders. Well, I told you I worked at apartments for 17 years.
Right.
So like coming from that and having my office and having binders, folders, and files, my office at home is set up exactly the same. So it's just blessed me into the new.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how that would be very beneficial too, because like that makes it more personable. I feel like a lot of times, you know, like for me, I use my CRM, not all the time, but I'm trying to use it more.
Yeah.
But that makes so much sense to me because, you know, that is, you're actually being able to put your personal touch on, you know, reaching out and keeping in front of these people.
Mhm. Yeah. And email, I mean, I check my email all day. I know we do,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't. And I have to tell my clients, hey, make sure you check your email, or hey, I'll text them, hey, I just sent you something, check your email. A lot of people don't check their email all day.
That's a valid point too. That is very true. Because we get so much junk mail. Like I know when
Yes.
I go through mine, I'm like junk.
Yes. Yeah. If it's important, send it to my work email because I might not see it for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And that's, if you step out of what the real estate business, which everybody does communicate by email.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Mhm.
You know, appraisers communicate email, title companies email. So yeah, it's real easy to assume everybody checks their email.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
When most time it's like, well, I haven't checked my email in 2 weeks. It's like, so yes, that whole, when I know I have a customer like that, it's like, let's get an email out to them. Then I'm texting, hey, check your email. Then
Yeah.
they're like, got it.
Yeah. I always ask in the beginning, what is the best way to communicate with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if they say text, I'm going to say, well, a lot of times it's
I
too
might call.
much for a text, you
Yeah.
know, but what I'm going to do is say, check out the email and then call me or text me with any questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Because yes, you know, got to take me forever if I just everything on there. Big,
Fat
big
thumbs?
thumbs. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have to spell check and I have to go back and
Yeah, spell
reevaluate that
check.
text. Yeah.
And then they're wrong too. They're trying to tell you, oh, you spell it like this. It's like, that's not the word I'm trying to spell.
I'm sorry.
So,
Me, it's autocorrect. I can't stand autocorrect sometimes.
Don't you know what I'm talking about? I talk to you every day, phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or voice text. I do voice text a lot because I'm traveling a lot.
Yes. We
And-
drive a lot.
Yeah. So do you do this? Do you like when you're driving, you look at your phone and or you're driving and I'm sorry, and then somebody comes to mind that you haven't texted yet, or like, oh crap.
Yes.
And then you're like voice text. And then you're like, no.
yes.
You get
Yes. And I'll look later. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't mean that.
you go back later and you stop. You're like, oh, I did not mean to say that. This is what I meant to say. Sorry, I was using voice text.
Yes. Yes.
So you've sent that message out
Yes.
quite a bit too. Then
Uh-huh.
I love it. I'm not alone, guys.
Yeah. Yes.
So what is one of the funniest things that's ever happened?
Oh God, it was something about a cowboy. It just popped to mind. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I went back, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know where that came from.
Oh man.
I don't know.
I can't remember what mine was. It will come to me eventually. But I've had a couple though. I've had some like bad ones where I was like, oh no, I did not mean to
Is
say
this
that.
directly from your phone or from your
Yeah.
vehicle?
From my phone. Like you can
Oh.
actually get on your phone and you can hit
Voice
talk to
text.
yeah, voice
Well, I
text.
know, but like when I'm driving, CarPlay syncs with my phone. So then I
Yes.
get a text and I'll hit it and I'll hear the text. And do you want to reply? And I'm like,
Yes.
yes. And I say what I want to. Will read it back to me. And then it'll
Oh.
say send or not or revise. And I'll be like, whoa, yeah, that didn't sound like what I
Mine
wanted to
doesn't
say.
give me that.
Okay.
No.
I think on yeah, a lot of them going forward, you know, I mean, mine, I bought it last year. So it's an 01
Fancy.
or 21. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
I'm talking about my 21 truck. But, you know, I'm just saying the technology's out there that I think
is.
it's the new cars. It's all
Looks
it's
like we
all
need to go car
syncing with your
shopping.
phones
Yeah.
to where it's gonna be standard, you know. But anyway, so yes, I could see where not checking what you just talking and going, I hope it sounds good.
Yeah.
I hope it comes out right.
It's like, do I really want to hand this in?
Yeah.
I will say though, if I do Google, hey Google, text blah blah blah, this, and I read it out, then Google reads it back to me, and then it asks me if I want to send it or not send it. So I will say Google has become more
Sure.
of who I want to talk to when I'm trying to text somebody.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty
See, I
cool,
learned something new.
right? I love
Google.
that. That's what this is all about. This is about us
Yes.
learning, educating each other, you know, just and educating our consumers. You know, I feel like there is a lack of sometimes communication, you know, and then, you know, new realtors, or even when I was brand new, the hustle and bustle of everything was a lot. And
Mhm.
so, I mean, I'm sure you probably felt this too. And so you miss some things. So I feel like going back and
Yeah.
people that are listening, they can now understand a little bit more about what is going on. And, you know, now they're getting a little more educated.
Yeah.
Right.
And like us, you know, being independent contractors, and you have to stay plugged in to
Yes.
everything.
Right.
Like read something, listen to something. You have to know what's going on, or you're going to fall just with the general public and you're watching the news to get your updates, and it's not right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not right. That's why I go to all like the real estate stuff, or, you know, we've got so many things that we can utilize, like the things that I printed off, you know, the RPR. If you are a realtor, use RPR. You can get in there and find anything out. Do you guys, do you use that often?
Yes.
I
Mhm.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
What's RPR stand for?
Realtor
Property resource.
property resource.
RPR.
Realtors property resource. Yes. Yes.
Was that a
Sounds
test
cool.
question?
Like that was good. You have an app. There is an app.
Yeah, there is an app.
And you can find it from your Netris
Mm-hmm.
account. So yes.
Sure can.
Yeah. So what else you got to share with us?
Oh, so I had.
Oh yeah.
You know the new neighborhoods? Have y'all seen them that are coming up, and they are for lease only, but they're all brand new houses,
In
like
Fort
a
Worth?
community. There's some in Fort Worth. I've seen some in
there's-
Azle. Yeah, Tavola Park, if I said that right, off of Dirks Road, is one, and it is only lease community in their houses.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know those existed.
Yes.
So
Wow.
what
Yeah.
are so because it's a community of leasing houses, do they have more of like a stipulation? Like they're a little bit more strict on, their background checks and things of that nature?
Yeah.
And deposits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
All right.
Everything. Just like any rental.
Yeah.
Any rental. And plus they're high, and now they're higher. I mean, because all
Oh,
the
yeah.
rates are higher. Not rates, but rents.
Rents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a bunch of them.
Is there good
True.
incentive, like to the real estate agent, to bring renters to them? I mean, is it an attract? I know it's not as attractive as closing on a house, but is it attractive to a realtor?
My personal opinion?
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
No. I mean, any seasoned realtor,
Right.
if you ask them if they like to do leases, what do they say?
No.
No.
No. Honestly,
Mm-mm.
like property, like the third party and the property managers, and having, like, if you have a situation like that with the lease, unless it's an owner that's a
Yeah.
lease that you're working with,
Yeah.
that's my favorite. I don't well, not my favorite, but I don't mind going that route, right? Or commercial leasing. I don't mind doing commercial
Right.
leasing.
Yeah.
But there's a little
Mhm.
bit. It's harder to get a hold of them. They don't want to talk to the realtor.
They don't.
They want to talk to the person wanting to lease the property.
Right.
Yeah.
They do.
So that's how this place is.
I think, well, there's even a DR Horton community that is all lease
Yes.
and just all new homes. It's only going to be leased. But so like us, we don't go show a house until they're pre-approved.
Right.
But on rentals, we don't have a way exactly to pre-approve them because every rental is going to be different.
Yeah.
So that I think is a hinder on the process for
Sure.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're, again, we're having to drive out to all these different, lease opportunities that they're interested in. And it's just like finding somebody a house. It's about the same amount of
Right.
houses sometimes.
Yeah,
or if
it's the
not
same.
more
Mhm.
because the
Yes.
lease prices right now too.
Well, and then with that leaves still like a shortage for housing for people that want to be owners.
Yeah.
To build equity.
True.
Mhm.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. I think there is one in Cleburne though. Now that you mention it, I think I remember hearing about one in Cleburne.
Yeah.
I'll find out for sure though. I don't quote me on that.
Well, that would be surprising. One down in Cleburne already,
Yeah.
because I did not know. When you're saying Dirk's Road, are we talking like off the tollway, kind of?
If you exit Alta Mesa off the tollway, well, it depends on which way you're coming
Okay.
from. Coming from my
Yeah.
direction, you would turn right
Okay, down in there.
going towards Hewlin, and they're on the left.
Okay.
But there's some in Azle I saw right by the golf course. It's a whole lease community only by DR Horton.
Wow.
Wow. And so that's really like new builds too.
Yeah, they're all brand new.
builds. They're not even ones that have been lived in at all.
No, these are brand
Wow.
new communities.
So that's going to be a high end lease though opportunity too. What about HOA?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now I'm curious. I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
I know you are
Yeah.
too. We're
I
like,
am.
wait, is this HOA? Because usually they have, HOA in those housing areas.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too, especially if you're going to do like all lease, honestly.
I
I
know.
mean, I don't mean to be rude by no means.
A lot of people
Oh,
don't
they're-
like
they're-
HOAs, but I think they
Mhm.
can be a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as they don't get, like a condo association with a neighborhood, with a neighborhood is that's where it can get.
A
But
little sticky.
but you don't hear
Elaborate
about
on
it.
that for those that don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying the rules if you live in a condominium,
Yeah.
Project, your rules under that are going to be, tighter than if you live in single family housing most of the time.
Right.
But I have heard stories where there's HOAs that are a little crazy.
Yes.
They're a little very strict, very over the line.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, like
people-
you can't.
people don't stay very long, right? They're like, hey, I want to move on.
Yeah.
But it's good as a real estate agent. I would think you've got people. A lot of times you talk to them, they're like, we don't know where we want to live yet. We want to check it out. Find us a nice place to live for 6 months. Give us time to figure out the best schools. I'm sure
Yeah.
that happens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that would probably maybe be a nice place to go.
Mhm.
Hey, well, here's
And
the community.
sometimes the rental criteria is harder than financing and buying a home.
Oh, sir. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. Because they want now it's like 3 times the rent.
And 650 credit score plus.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Which most lease opportunities they go to lease because their credit score is lower than a 650.
And they want to pay a double deposit. Well, why don't you just pay a down payment on the house?
Right. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm with you.
So
on that,
they
David.
want monthly income to be
Yep.
3 times
Three
whatever the
times.
rent
Yes.
is.
Mhm.
Which is challenging, I feel, especially with, I mean, what we told you,
Yeah,
we said the numbers.
That is more strict
Yeah.
than buying
I
a
mean,
house.
and if you own your house, you can have whatever kind of dog you want.
Yep.
You can have a misdemeanor or felony.
Right. Hey, you never know. I mean,
I mean, really?
Right, yeah.
There's, I mean,
There's all different kinds of felonies, you know.
Yes.
It just depends.
yeah, it just depends.
sometimes the felony's not that bad. So
No.
yeah.
but these
from-
damn rent property agencies are just kicking people out for it. Or
Yeah.
not letting them in.
they want, yeah,
Yeah, they won't even
will.
let them in.
Or have someone stay with them. Or, I mean, there's just there's a lot of perks, obviously, owning your own home.
Absolutely.
People are like, I don't want the maintenance, but I don't want a maintenance man in my house. Like, I mean, unless he's working for free.
and he's attractive. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Does he mow?
What else can you do, sir?
I'm a single mom, so
Hey, I was a single mom once, so I
Oh.
completely remember. I'm like, I need you. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. A one man all, like to help out with all those manly needs that us girls, we don't
Yes.
like to get our hands dirty sometimes. I don't mind sometimes, but it depends on the situation.
Spider webs, stuff like that.
Spider
Weed
webs don't bother
eating.
me.
Weed
Weed
eating.
eat-
Yeah. I don't like
I
weed
hate
eating.
that.
I'd rather have
And
somebody or
edging
pay
with
somebody.
a weed eater is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
'Cause it
still
kicks
mow my
back.
own yard,
Ooh.
There
Yeah.
you go.
or I
There
make
you-
my kid do it.
Right.
She's 16, so she needs to learn.
That's right.
Yes. It is
She
important.
does.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I used to love mowing my yard because honestly, it was a workout.
Well, I don't like working out,
Oh.
but
That's okay. That's
Well,
okay. Well, you're gonna have to tell me your theory. You look fabulous. I'm like, I have to work out to have this figure, and I'm still not where I want to be.
diet.
Yeah. I don't like that word. We use lifestyle change in my house. It's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle change. But I mean, it
Yes.
has to be.
Yeah, it has to be
Mhm.
because diets come and go. Anyway, we're back on a tangent.
food style change.
I love it. Oh man. Okay, so what are you seeing in the economy versus, well, like in your area? What are you seeing going on there?
I be more specific.
So I mean, are you in Fort Worth? I'm sure we're seeing because I mean, on the Wall Street Journal, the Real Time Economics, they're saying that Texas is like the number one place where everybody is moving to right now. Then Florida, then North Carolina.
Do you think it's just because we're so big?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's more to it than that, but
If y'all could see the colors on her little map
I
or on her
know
chart.
it's crazy.
Where did it go? I have it, don't I?
Yeah, you have one too. That's somewhere. Did I give it? Do you? Maybe I did not. Mercy. I'm not doing so. Oh, here's the other one. Okay, I had it. Sorry, my bad.
But you see that it's Texas, Florida, and North Carolina where people are moving to the
Yeah.
top 3. And where's the little camera thing? They're
That's-
all red.
Oh yeah,
And then the bottom ones are California, Illinois, New York, and they're blue.
and New York is the lowest.
So bigger has nothing to do with it because
Texas is the biggest state.
Well,
It
I know,
is.
but California is the second. And New York's right there third with population.
What's Alaska?
Or well, New York's
Alaska is the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
no. Okay,
Oh.
Yeah.
land what? Yes, Alaska. Thought you meant people like population.
No,
Oh,
land.
yeah, but okay. Well, West Texas is bigger than North Texas. A lot more people live in North Texas than West
Right.
Texas.
Who would
Right.
want to live in West Texas?
Hey, I'm from West Texas.
I'm just
I
kidding.
respect that.
It is
kidding.
pretty.
Naked lady.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm from the desert.
No, move to Fort Worth. That's what we're trying to tell
No.
everybody.
But North Texas, without a doubt, you've got areas of Texas, right? And North
Yes.
Texas is considered like one of the best places where you can get a job, and they still consider the cost of living low or average. They
Yeah.
don't consider it high. We might consider it high, but people from other states look at it and be like, "That's low.
Yeah.
It's lower
Right.
than where we come from."
It
So,
is.
North Texas, and then you got Austin, but that's a specialized market.
But they've
Austin
projected
is.
that DFW is going to be, Fort Worth's going to be larger than Dallas, and we're going to be bigger than Houston within like the next 10 years.
oh, Lord.
Mercy.
So
Here we go,
Bertha-
people. Get ready.
Bertha's going to get swallowed because right now we're basically the southern end of DFW, and then you have to drive and go to another town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it comes. So
Well, and-
Waco's going to be the south, I guess. Hillsboro. Probably build a loop around Hillsboro
Yeah.
up to Denton.
That's
Oh,
a good idea.
that
Yeah.
is.
Well, where's that
Out
rail
by
train
Weatherford.
that was supposed to come from Fort Worth to like Waxahachie
I know what
through
you're
here?
talking about. That's the one
It's
that's
going to go through
closer to the
Joshua
interstate.
too.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
closer to the interstate.
Okay.
It's that one.
See, they're already fixing the problem.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, wait. So Big County Mortgages, great show. Y'all love the info y'all are providing. Oh, thanks, Mark. Hi, Mark. That's Mark Dean. We like him. Well, I like him. I like him.
We like Mark.
No, we do like Mark. What?
Big
Oh,
Country Mortgage.
yeah, Big Country Mortgages.
There you
Oh,
go.
yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What you got to say about that?
Oh, that's my old company.
Big
Oh,
Still
Country?
big. I'm still Big Country.
You're
Big
still
Country.
Big Country. Yes,
From
it
West
is.
Texas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Desert
Okay, that's
rat.
where he was going with that. Okay, now I get it, Mark. Okay.
That's
You had
right.
to elaborate on that. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
But
Y'all
Hey.
elaborate. There's 10 seconds.
all right, Dava,
Thank you for having me.
thank you for coming on our show. Thank you so much for giving us some insight on Fort Worth. Jason, always pleasure.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Dava.
All right.
Great show, and I'll have you back someday.
Yes,
Okay.
we would love that. Bye, guys. Have a great
Bye.
day.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was